Rendering our scene now with Final Gather and the exposure control adjusted, we can see that our scene is not only much brighter, but we have illumination in areas that are not directly lit by the light coming in from the window. You'll also notice, however, that we have some areas that look fairly rough and are not very convincing. We also have other areas in the scene that are still very dark. Continue on from the previous section or open the file Chapter 5 Interior Final Gather 03.max. Click on the Application button, Open. In the Chapter 5 directory, select the file called Chapter 5 Interior Final Gather 03.max. Click Open to open the file. Rather than increasing the Final Gather precision option, which can significantly slow the render time, the next best option is to increase the Final Gather bounces option. This will increase the number of times the Final Gather calculates the bouncing of light off of the surfaces in the scene. With the value set to 0, we only get one bounce from the light coming in the room. Essentially, the light comes in, hits a surface, then bounces off into the room, and it's not calculated anymore after that. A good value for doing a sample test render is anywhere from 2 to 4 bounces. Let's set our value between those values and change the Final Gather bounces value to 3. Go ahead and re-render the scene by clicking the Render button in the main toolbar. This will have the effect of calculating the bounce 3 times after the initial bounce. So what's happening now is the light is coming into the room, it's bouncing off of one surface, then Final Gather is calculating how that light is bouncing from surface to surface around the room. Final Gather then combines all the information into a Final Gather indirect illumination pass. We can see now that the darker areas are noticeably lighter. This has now picked up more light information from more surfaces and transferred that light information to other surfaces. This has had the effect of brightening our scene. Let's click Cancel to cancel the renderer. Keep in mind when you're doing this level of rendering that having Final Gather bounces between 2 and 4 will give you a good quality result. If you find you need a higher level of precision, only then do you increase the precision level that Final Gather will use to calculate its Final Gather pass. It's really a balancing act of making adjustments. You can see in the renderer that the lighting is brightened up significantly, although there's still noise visible in our wall as a result of the Final Gather calculation. We have a better solution that has worked relatively efficiently.